Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause.
Wrapping things up, we've got leftovers, which, hey, that's the name for our random thoughts segment. So I've got a couple of leftovers. Some random thoughts popped in my head. I don't know if you all have any, but I wrote a couple of them down. Number one, dear Instagram models, I promise you we're not here to see you play with your hair. I had to write this one down as an actual statement because I feel like it's just, you see it, right? You go on Instagram, the people that have all these OnlyFans links and yada, 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 World Star, all this kind of stuff shared. It's really just like a ton of photos, just girls just playing with their hair, right? Just staring into the camera. I promise you we're not here for that. I'm not here for that. I don't know. I feel like that was important to say. That's a random thought of mine. Another one that I had, Travis Scott, the Travis Scott McDonald's deal. Really all I wrote was, we're better than that. I'm a little bit disappointed that he decided to partner up with McDonald's. I can kind of see it from like a hype beast standpoint. McDonald's, you think of, swaggy shit, whatever. You think 90s. I feel like a lot of the time, for some reason, I think 90s, when I think McDonald's, maybe that's because that's like the last time I used to eat it pretty regularly. Come on. Like, why do you have to go McDonald's? Get like the Panera Pick 2. Nah, not literally Panera, but something though. Not unhealthy shit, right? Jock's got the reason why, though.
Yeah, money, man. Money makes the world go round. You can appeal to a large market. And unfortunately, a lot of people in the world, especially in America, they love eating shitty food. If I'm honest with you, nobody likes to eat healthy, or they don't want to hear that, So I think, do I love McDonald's? No. Will I eat it if it's the only choice? Yeah, for sure,
Right.
But, yeah, I think it's just marketing, man. And one thing I do want to bring up is like Travis Scott is really good at doing that, like marketing himself with a lot of fucking shit. I think we spoke about that in one of our chats, but kudos to him for doing that. You know what I mean? Like, do we agree with certain companies that he's doing it with? No, but I agree with him getting the bag overall. So,
yeah. And speaking of like namesake and marketing, McDonald's and KFC are the only two restaurants or American restaurants you're going to find in like small countries. Also, so it kind of makes sense to do it. It's either one of the two is
international.
Mm-hmm. So for
I definitely get it from like the money side, right? Like, I get that. I get why McDonald's makes sense, but I don't know shit. 50 Cent vitamin water, right? Like Travis Scott can't come out with some like, I don't know, endurance drink.
Yeah. It's a Coca-Cola company, isn't it? So
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's healthier Coca-Cola, right? We got our vitamin water, get in the shits,
I would say
I get why, but like why? Come on, Travis Scott.
I would say the why is like McDonald's sometimes slap, and kids love McDonald's. Kids love Travis Scott. Like like you say, it's nostalgia for us. He's dope. McDonald's is dope sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we think of McDonald's as like, like shit burgers, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But like, they do have like a healthy menu, or like they at least try. And like,
you're right, though.
Give or take, you know what I'm saying? They at least like try to do what, like a lighter option in a way. It's still McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? But like McDonald's is, it's more than a fast food restaurant. It's a culture. You know what I'm saying? In a way, like it's just like how Travis Scott has, like, him himself is a culture. You know what I mean? Like, don't at me the way like we feel. You know what I'm saying? It's a culture. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Even though we all come from different backgrounds, like like whatever it is, we have a culture. Like that's why we're friends. You know what I'm saying? It's our culture. It's our thing. It's our little thing. La Costa Nostra. You know what I'm saying? And so. Like I understand it. I understand why he's doing it. Why like it's why he did it with McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Because like Mike, like maybe he fucks with McDonald's. Like you fucks with Panera. You would have did it with Panera, nigga. So like,
I get why he wouldn't do some shit like Panera. That's more of a joke.
Because that's you. You like Panera. Maybe
well, I know. I'm like, hey, I'm in the minority there.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Chance, like he actually had a statement on it. It was because of more of childhood nostalgia. He was like, oh, like as a kid, that was my place, kind of thing.
Astroworld
Yeah.
itself, the physical
Yeah,
place,
it's nostalgia.
I think McDonald's, I think all this shit, they all kind of fit in that same spectrum. So I mean, I get it for sure. I get it.
Yeah. Matter of fact, take it back to there. I know exactly why he did McDonald's. I know exactly why, because I know that nigga, even though like a lot of people think I'm bullshitting when I say that. He used to actually hang out with my house, play 2K when he was like in high school or some shit like that. But anyway, right next to Astroworld, the place we would go, like Astroworld was like a babysitter. That grew up in Houston.
Yeah.
But right next to Astroworld, after it went down, we went to McDonald's. The McDonald's that's right there at the end of Alameda. You know what I'm saying?
People used to park. People used to park there.
We used to get like picked up and shit
from there. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a drop off and shit, and they'll close the drop off, and your parents were late or some shit. You go to McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So It goes back to that. It ties into Astroworld. If you understand the culture of that. You know what I'm saying? Astroworld was a culture and some shit like that. They took that shit away from us back then. You know what I'm saying? Like we miss it. It was nostalgic. It brought us back to something like that. And McDonald's is something that'll be around forever. Like it or not. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
It's gonna be around forever. So it's like, okay, well, we can't have Astroworld. You know what I'm saying? We still got the parking lot there, but we got McDonald's still there. He probably still goes to that McDonald's. Like that's probably where you can catch him at. You know what I'm saying? When he's in the H, that McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? On 610 in Alameda. Oh, shit, I'm giving up the spot.
Honestly, man, I'm proud of Travis Scott. Like, I really am. I went to the first, like, Astroworld Fest, and there was a lot of young people there. At the time, like, man, I feel really old. But now it's like, in retrospect, man, I love what he's trying to do for the young generation because they are the future. He's still trying to, implement that Houston culture and what – you know what I mean? Like what he grew up with, because he's a millennial as well, So I don't know. I just shout out to Travis, man. He's doing it right now.
Right. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying is like when I was, let's see, this is like when I stayed on Wentworth or whatever. This is like 08, 09. So this is like when I was like 19, 20, 21, maybe like when he was like around like this was definitely before 2011. Yeah. This is like 08. It's like 08 or shit like that. When I stayed on Wentworth. He like would come over to play 2K with Mike Rogers and everything like that. Cause me and Mike Rogers used to hang tough. Like that's like his best friend. Well, shout out Mike Rogers. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know him, you know him. But that's that guy right there. Like it was a big influence because he brought Travis. I think he was a little bit older, but he brought Travis around a lot to a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was like places like my house to play 2K or like that. Cause me and Mike used to do shit like that. We used to just move around. And like at that time, he was getting into this is what I want to do and shit like that. Like he probably knew it back then. It's around 2008. Like I said, I think, he started performing probably around 2011 or something like that. And like by 2014, he was like, getting into like, that was like around the time I think. When did Cold Summer come out?
Oh, Cool Summer, yeah, that was, yeah, 2011, 2012.
Okay, so
which
that's
led
when
into
it started manifesting for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he was out of school and shit like that. Like, so, he got with Kanye and shit like that, like to take it to the next level. He knew what he had to do to get out, but still hold it down. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that, like, someone like him, like, he did it the right way. A lot of people that know Houston culture know that a lot of people don't make it out way. We got our own set of legends. We got our own culture and everything down here. And, but when you can mold it and put it on a global level, even at this time, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's something simple like Astroworld. A lot of people don't even they put Astroworld. They don't even know about Six Flags Astroworld. You know what I'm saying? They think it's strictly a.
I think it's an album.
Of that album. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that was once a place. You know what I'm saying? Like so it all comes all together of like what he's trying to do. He's trying to put what he's trying to bring he's a culture. You know what I'm saying? He's a culture. So like he's trying to make like what we did, what it is there, but put it on a global level because he's everything to kids. That's why he does shit with Fortnite and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? It may not make sense to someone like us, but it does to him.
Last random thought, last leftover I had is why did drive-ins ever die out? Like, what the hell is that about? I went to a drive-in to see Tenet, which I stared at the screen for 2 hours pretending I knew I was watching like this. But good movie. totally confusing. Read about it before you see it. Read the spoilers, and you still won't get it. But anyway, yeah, drive-ins. Why'd that die out? Like, that's where it's at. I feel like we need to go back to making drive-ins a full-time thing.
I think it's definitely coming back, man. But as far as like question like why did it die out, you know, things have their moments, man, where they peak and they're popular. So I think it just lost its popularity and people stop fucking with it like over time. But once again, you know, everything gets recycled, so everything comes back in full circle eventually. So now it's starting to come back around, and you kind of need drive-ins because of, you know, COVID and what's happening in 2020. So that's going to be the only thing that you can actually do. Like now, there's actually drive-in concerts. Like I saw one other day actually in Houston, at Houston Parkway. It was a rave actually. You know, so like how they had it set up is like a drive-in. You know, you bring your car, and it's kind of spaced out, but you have your own little groups. Like, you know, just like in different areas and stuff. It probably was like 120 people there, 100, between 100 and 200 people there. Like it seemed like a lot, you know, but it worked from what I saw. So I think going forward, that's going to be the thing, like with everything. And driving movies is the catalyst for that, you know. So.
Well, temporarily, the reason I say that is because in Houston it works, but in other states it may not. One, you have to factor in land, and two, time of year. So that's why they died out.
Time of year is true. We went, I guess, 2 weeks ago. So whenever Labor Day weekend was, so I guess at this point, yeah, 10 days ago. And caught a little bit of a breeze here and there, but it was still pretty sticky, man. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that 2 months ago, July, in the heat of summer. Fair point. Fair point. Gary just rained on our parade, but it's all right.
Yeah, I hate that to be like the fucking nerd.
But that's why I asked. You know, so hey, okay, I understand why they died down.
I had to come from I had to do like that macroeconomic take. Like, okay, like, why wouldn't?
We need that though.
You know?
People have told us we need to fact check a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm like, hey, like let me go ahead and like do some research.
But also too, like, you know, the fact check, like definitely, you know, I agree with that. But we're also just speaking from our own opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So people realize that too. We're talking from our own perspective, too, you know.